Dolphins practice is finito. It's in the books. I'm here to go over it. I didn't see it. I'm reporting what I heard. It was a wild one. There's some good stuff. There's some bad stuff. There's some concerning stuff. There's some stuff for hope. It's all over the place. But two things I try to do here. It's crazy. I try to give you no BS, and I try to add context. I don't like BS for the hate, and I don't like it for the hopium. And I try to offer context because I'm not a seer of the future. I'm here to try to make an evaluation. I try to explain why my evaluation is there. I always say, let's see. So the context of this thing is it's the most clear data point we've had up until this point. But next week, it will be far less clear than this one. It was a practice. There's a lot of stuff, balls in the air, but you've got to kind of take this data point with the most seriousness in your eval up to this point. So that's the deal. So guys, please like, subscribe, comment, and view. All that stuff keeps Curtis in the business. Because without you, without my sponsors, no way, no how is this show going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, let's set the framework for this practice. Joe Shad said Hill, we finally figured out was an oblique. That's not a good injury. It can linger. It's not the end of the world, but it clearly held him out today. He wore some pads, did some light stuff. It's not a good one. It's not a bad one, but he was out. Kamara, still in concussion protocol. Ingle, concussion protocol. Meyer, Jackson, Matos, Ashton Davis, Cam Smith, and, oh man, Dante traded out again, and it looks like he was supposed to get his shine this week against the Bears. That's what we were hoping for. That's what we were being told, but he's not. So that kind of blows. So that's the opening salvo. I'm going to go into the good, I'm going to go to bad, and then wrap this whole thing up. But it opened up pretty poor. We had a tough going. You could see there were some problems as far as just getting things out on time, which I didn't like. Offensive line, this is, I don't know what point this was, but it had 4 false starts, 2 holding calls. We also saw this report by Greg Braggs Jr. Miami's having trouble getting organized with their first team offense, tied into the multiple starts. McDaniels is just holding his head in frustration. Don't know if he added that in or if it's a legitimate. But we saw too, Terrell from Omar, Terrell Smith had 2 breakups of passes on the Miami offense. Miami's clearly struggling with how physical the defense is being. He even made a comment saying they were acting like they weren't supposed to get hit, and they were kind of surprised by it. This is troubling. It's not the end of the world. It can get straightened out. But this is critical stuff. We're in year 4. Ben Johnson's in year 1, and we don't really see this stuff. So that was kind of some of the concerns that we saw early. But in the second period, there were some good things. I think I'm going to end up bouncing back and forth between the good and bad because I think that's the way to present it properly. But in this, we really struggled. In the first half, we couldn't run. The offense was looking terrible. The Bears defense looked pretty decent. They really got shut down. I'll get into that in a little bit in the second half. But Bears first team defense is having a really tough time stopping the run, especially from the left side. Multiple times, Miami's getting to the second level with big chunk plays. That was behind Paul. That was behind Savaianaya and likely Pharaoh Brown. And there were multiple confirmations about this. From Travis Wingfield, he tends to be positive, but it's multiple confirmation. Dolphins offense responds to that first period. They've been moving the LOS behind Paul and Savanaya and are now getting the explosives. Tua got all day off play action and finds Waddle on the 30, but Tua had a struggling day. We'll get into that. There was another one from Omar. Devon Achane with a nice first down run to the left side of the offensive line. And this is a huge positive for us. We don't ever get this. Now, context is, last year, they were like 28th, I think, in the run defense. But still, even against poor run defenses, we struggled last year. I think this is a great sign for the future, for this season, to get some kind of movement. And that's what I hoped. And there's a big piece of the puzzle for us being successful with this run game and the offensive line doing its thing. Now, on the other side, Tua had one pick all training camp. He had 3 today, 1 in the red zone that was returned for a touchdown. I'm not killing Tua, don't know the settings, but that's not good. But you'll see other places, they were saying that the Bears defense was playing press on our small receivers and they had trouble getting off all day. Taj Washington, though, is one of the guys that had a very good day despite this. Now, there was no Hill. That counts in there. But unfortunately, even Waddle, he got a screen pass, got hit so hard, he was down for a while and fumbled the football. So there was a lot of problems. Like I said, the last count I had was Tua had 3 picks and 2 sacks on the day. Don't think he had any more picks. Might have had some more sacks. That wasn't a good stuff for us. Now, another good news, Travis Wingfield and multiple people reported Grant having a pretty darn good day. Nothing exceptional, but a guy that young having even a nice day against a very good front. I don't know if they had all their starters in, but it sounded that way. That is great news, and so that's a positive as well. Pass rush. I'm not a big Williams fan. I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback. He seems not to have it between the ears at this stage, at least. But still, not sure whether it's by design or the Dolphins' pass rush is forcing Caleb Williams out of the pocket fairly consistently. And that's against a good front. Now, he probably holds on to the ball a ton. He's not really great at reading. Throw-in and completions on back-to-back plays. So we're getting that left side doing what we're hoping. We're getting the pass rush, and we're seeing Grant do good. But the offense itself was a little messy. We brought in the guy from the Titans. We got 20 million OCs over here. There shouldn't be this level of miscommunication, although got a second-year offensive lineman in Paul. You got a rookie in Savanaya. Brewer kind of just came back. Daniels is new, and you got a rotation at tackle. You want to throw that up there. Okay, I don't know who was causing the problems, but on another side, Julian Hill had a touchdown catch, but then it was a procedure penalty that stripped it back by Hill. So there is a lot of stuff to work on. On the mental side, it's something that we've talked about in the past. It can get fixed. It's not great that it didn't get fixed now, but there's plenty of time for that. So there is some good and some bad. But there is some weird too. There was a fight today, and I thought I was hallucinating. It was a typo. Omar Kelly said, "There's the Miami Dolphins defense is fighting the Miami Dolphins defense." I'm like, this is a typo, right? But crazy. It's not the end of the world, but it's not good. Dotson and Brooks got into a punch match. This is just a practice. And I can understand yelling and stuff, but throwing punches and then Sealer having come in to separate it, it's not good. That's not positive. I mean, it's positive in the sense that I like Brooks being who he is, but not the fact that he's arguing with his second linebacker at this stage in punches. So that was kind of weird and crazy. I didn't like that. it does add, I'm not saying it is, but you've got dysfunction as far as getting the plays in. You got guys making penalties, and then you got this kind of going on. It's not what you really want to see. Fighting the other team, which happened later. Eskridge got into a fight. McDaniel had to get in there, and Tehran was on scene. He had to get in there. Hill grabbed Eskridge and pulled him out. I get that. But this was a little weird. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm sure it's nothing, but still, I was taken back. So also, you can see here, tough sledding for Zach Wilson group, 2 off-the-target balls. Izukama couldn't bring it down. The Bears DB punched the ball out. And Tariq Black gets a step up on the sideline, but it's overthrown. So, it's still, he's the backup quarterback. I'm not getting crazy. But, you got to keep in the mindset that that's kind of who Wilson was. So we're not seeing some kind of great step forward. Still plenty of time. I really, Ben Johnson said that he's going to hold some of the starters that he had in practice for the preseason game. I kind of would have liked it better to see them there so I could get my eyes on it instead of having to read what people are telling me. And then really the last little bit, I'll dig in, the big bit. Jack Jones got a holding call. Then he went down. He had to get helped off by Tehran. Then he got taken off on a cart. They were checking his leg. Some people said it was cramps. It's not good. I'm not saying it's terrible. But how many DBs are we going to get messed up? Jack Jones, if he's out for a long time, although Sheffield has kind of stepped up, but it really wasn't so hot to trot. They kind of struggled today. People were saying in one-on-ones, at least, Bonner had the best day. But you really want Jack Jones there. So we got to hope it's just a cramp or something small. We'll see on that. It kind of sucks. And then the last little bit. Good news, and it ends on good news. Minka did very well. He had one play where he went sideline to sideline, almost got a sack. He was all over the field today, doing what we hoped. Great news. Good. Cameron Good had a block punt. He's a kind of, Grayson Murphy is all over the place. People are high on him. I don't really get to see him enough to really be excited. But from George from Finn's Faithful Podcast, I respect him a ton. He likes him a ton. I'm excited. He had a big day, but there's a little bit of difficulty in who to cut for this 53. Cameron Good is a special teams ace, had a block punt, so it's good and good. So, but guys, this is not exactly what you want. There's some good things at what you want, but we can't really get too crazy at this stage. For me, this Lions joint practice, and the Lions preseason game, if it mirrors this, that's when I'll hit the concern level. We got to see this preseason game and the rest of the week and the next practice before we hit concern level, aside from Jack Jones getting injured. And, some other stuff to pay attention to. But I wouldn't get too crazy now, but this was not what we want. There was a lot of data points in the past about not getting stuff in on time, being disorganized, not being physical enough, not being mentally tough enough. So this is never good. But let's hope this gets straightened out, and we'll see. So that's the whole deal. We've got the preseason game. Some of the talent we pulled out. It's not going to... I'd say this is probably a bigger data point because there'll be more talent here, starting talent, than the preseason game. But both these are relevant. Let's pair them with the Lions and see what happens. So that's the whole deal. Let's hope things get fixed soon. Curtis saying, be well, Dolphins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.